evening, boys and girls. Welcome to today. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, well, I've been busy, as you can imagine. Still haven't done much, obviously, decorating wise, and I've got all the electrics to rip out. I want to put in some more sockets because these houses, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I'll go over it again because it's been months. Who gives a rat's ass? These houses were built 48, 49, and people started moving in late 49, 1950. And things like electrical sockets, well, people didn't have much electrical stuff back then. And so we've got a socket in that corner. That's the living room. We've got a socket in the corner over there. That's the dining room. We've got two sockets in the kitchen. And we've got one socket in each of the bedrooms in the most inaccessible areas unless you change your bedroom around completely. Does that make sense? It's kind of, you walk into each of the bedrooms and the furthest corner away is where the socket is. Now that's fine if you bung your bed against the partition wall between us and next door. If you don't, if you bung it between a partition wall between the rooms, whatever, then it's as far away from where you're going to have your tables as possible. So I've got to rip all of that out and do that and put some new sockets in. Neighbour's going to be helping me with that one. Yes, qualified Sparky, don't worry, not being an idiot, already know. Got to rip all the ceilings down, redo those because they're all polystyrene tiles and painted and stuff, which is supposedly dangerous. Oh, well, you know, in a fire they melt. Yeah, but if you're in a house fire where the ceiling is melting on you, it's a bit late. Right? Just letting you know. This is my new mug. It's not new, it's an old mug. I got it from a vintage thing over in America and they sent it to us, so whatever. I've got all the radiators to replace, all the plumbing to do, because we want to move radiators. Obviously the ones underneath the windows are fine, there's a small little one. But we've got a pointless radiator out in the hallway, which, the way these houses are designed, it's really annoying. It's an easy layout, it's a good layout, it's a generic layout. But you come in and close the front door. The front door is sunk in, kind of countersunk. And that creates a very small alcove between the outside wall and the front door, where the door comes in. And that is prone, in all the houses on this estate, everybody's houses suffer the same, condensation in that alcove. Well, it's just wide enough that we could put a kind of standing radiator in. You know, those kind of thin but tall bastards. And that would cure the problem. A couple of other houses have done it. It's how I got the idea. I'm not being original, don't worry. Don't panic. I'm not being original, don't panic. Anyway, so move the pointless radiator off the wall, because whenever you bring anything in, if it's a heavy object, let's say a sofa or a fridge freezer, or just whatever, planks of wood or something like that, and you bring it in, it's relatively heavy, you always tong off the bloody radiator. So it's pointless, it's in the way. Somebody at some point is going to burst the pipe, whatever. I know it hasn't happened yet, but eventually it will do. So I'm going to bung the radiator there, get rid of that one, change a few of the radiators about, do upstairs. I found out that the boiler was installed in 2009. So I really am on borrowed time. Some people have said, oh, get a combi one, you know. I don't really want to. I'll tell you for why. I've got a water tank upstairs, obviously storage tank, insulated thing. It's only a few years old, it's about 5 years old I think. And obviously it's got the immersion heater in there should things go wrong. Well, if I get a standard boiler, because I'm not going to change to heat pump or anything, not in this bloody house, it would be pointless. 3 cool brick, cavity wall insulation from the 90s. I'd need to do all the windows, doors. I'd need pretty much to put cladding outside, It'd just be absolutely bloody pointless. And to be fair, the way things are going with piped gas, they're introducing 20% hydrogen mix into that, and over the coming years or decades, whatever, they're going to be slowly changing it to hydrogen gas being pumped. And that you can pretty much bet money on. So I'm just going to update gas burning boiler that's capable of the 20% mix and stuff like that. And well, most gas boilers are capable of the 20% mix. But you know what I mean, hydrogen kind of capable, and just keep doing that. Because that's ultimately the way it's going to go. Because heat pumps won't work in every single situation for every single house. Electric boilers, that's one. I did think about an electric boiler. Has to be said. Because that just literally, you take your gas one off, you put an electric one on, done. But again, it's going to cost a little bit more, but given where gas is going these days, little column A, little column B. But anyway, keep the water tank, get a standard boiler, because they're cheaper. And if the boiler goes wrong, I've got an immersion heater. My shower heats the water as it goes anyway. The only thing I'd lose is heating. And although this is technically a smokeless area, that fireplace, although that one's gas, it works. You can rip it out, there's nothing wrong with my chimney. So I can get heat in the house. So I can continue. I mean, to be fair, that's a gas burning heater anyway, and it works absolutely fine, so I'll just use that. I wouldn't go back to coal, don't worry, don't panic. I've got a gas burning oven out in the kitchen, so I can get heat in the kitchen easy enough. I can get heat just there, whatever, you know? And it'll keep me going until such a point as I could afford to fix or change or whatever, depending on my circumstances at the time. Going to a combi means you pretty much lose bloody everything. Unless, of course, you've got the shower that heats as you go. So there's method in my madness, and the way things are going with, you know, environmental concerns and so on and so forth, having a water storage tank in your house is probably going to be the best option. Because you're going to go electric, hydrogen if you're going to wait like I am, I hope. You're gonna have electric. Yeah, whether it's a heat pump or whatever, electric pump, whatever. So if you've got a decent insulated storage water tank, you can heat the water in. And the tank upstairs, I tested it. I turned everything off. I used the immersion heater, got it really, you know, could hear it, probably annoying. And I left it. Right, I turned it all off, and I left it. 2 days later, I still had water hot enough to wash dishes in. So it's a bloody good tank, that. So yeah, that's my theory anyway. That's what I'm planning on doing. I was thinking about ripping out the storage tanks, getting a combi, and then doing what a lot of the neighbours have done and having a bigger bathroom. Because I've got 2 water storage tanks. One of them I need to rip out anyway because it's bloody pointless. They're in like the airing cupboard inside the bathroom, which makes the bathroom slightly smaller. And if you rip it out, you bung say a boiler there, so you move it upstairs, all that kind of crap. You can have a little shower unit and all kinds of crap and a bigger bathroom. But really, you have a shower shave. Do you really need a huge amount of space to do that? It's to each their own, but I'm thinking, you know, keep the water tank, because sod's law is 5, 10, however many years later, people are going to be reverting to putting tanks back in because, it'll be more efficient. It'll keep the water hotter for longer and you won't use as much electricity. Blah, blah, blah. You know how it's going to go. You know, it's like diesels are really good for the environment. Yeah, that worked out well, didn't it? But yes, but anyway, that's going on. I'm supposed to be doing the outhouses at the moment. Pulling all the crap out, putting some shelving up, putting it all back neatly, because I'm going to be putting in... I've got outside water because I've got an outside shitter. I love having an outside shit house, it's brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to run water through into the main one of the 3 outhouses. I'm going to move the washing machine and tumble dryer out there. But I want to get the pipe work in, get the drain in, because the main drain is literally just come out of the outhouse, couple of steps over, there's the main drain, so it'll be easy enough to run into it. And then screed the floor, get everything out there so it's all nice, have everything shelved, and it's just neater and tidy, because at the moment we just chuck all the crap in there and I can never find anything and it's annoying me. I'm going to be building a workshop at the bottom of the garden, so I've got to put in a concrete plinth and all that kind of stuff and build a workshop over it, because I'm changing what wearing bearings is going to be. I'm not letting anything slide at the moment. I've completely stopped doing it for now because I don't have time to do this, let alone a car thing. I'm building a workshop out there. I'm going to have paving down one side so that I can wheel bits and bobs, and wearing bearings is going to be, well, pretty much wearing bearings really, if you think about it. I'll be changing a lot of bearings. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to change that round. I'm re-engineering that in my head, but I've got a house to deal with first, so it will happen when it happens. That's all I can give you. But so much has changed since I last uploaded, hasn't it? Yeah. So many things have changed. So much has gone on. It's like this hierarchy of road users. Every truck driving YouTuber is doing something about it, so I might as well jump on the bandwagon. But I'm coming at it from probably a slightly different approach to everyone else. I haven't watched everybody's uploads. I can't. I don't have time. I just don't watch much YouTube anymore at all. Anyway, but anyway, hierarchy of road users. Road safety. Bollocks. Okay. First things first. Bollocks. If you want to improve road safety, there is a very, very simple way of doing it. The mighty is right. Easy, simple. Everyone can remember it. If it's bigger than you, get the fuck out of the way. Yeah? If it's trying to turn and it's bigger than you, move. Done. Road safety. Everybody's aware of it. Yeah? Simple rule. Done. Sorted. Yeah? You put yourself in the way of a vehicle that is trying to manoeuvre, it's your fault. Simple. The way it was explained, yeah, if you're going to be turning left, don't have a cyclist alongside you, don't overtake them and turn. Morons do that. That isn't an everyday occurrence for an average driver. We don't do that. Yeah, morons, idiots. They do it. And most cyclists in cities have cameras on them now, so you're gonna catch the idiots. But if you want to improve safety, that's the easiest way of doing it. The reason they've done the hierarchy is to secure prosecutions. That's it. You are now responsible for the more vulnerable road user. Doesn't matter what happens, they're going to secure a prosecution. Good luck with that. It's like this street, for example. It seems to be a cut through. Main road, traffic lights left, main road. This is a little kind of cut through. Now, people for years have been demanding that the end of the road where the terraced houses are be made one way, or put some bollards in to kind of separate the street to stop it, because people from the main road go to the traffic lights, turn left. That main road has speed humps. This residential road doesn't. Welcome to Staffordshire. No planning whatsoever. Right? Main road, speed humps. Residential road with lots of kids, no fucking speed humps. Work that one out. Anyway. So, what's kind of going? People turn down and fly down this road like banana hell, right? Really, I mean, you shouldn't really do more than about 20, 30 odd mile an hour down here. Good case scenario, with the cars parked, everything like that. A lot of people who use this as a cut through, they're probably doing 50, 60 by the time they put their brakes on at the end. They're really just giving it the beans. They're going for it. Right? Beating the traffic. And there's one of them who cuts through. I annoy him. On my days off, I know when he cuts through. He's always going home, same time, same car, all the time. He's had several different cars. The neighbours are aware of him. He's crashed through somebody's wall twice, slammed into a parked car just down there once, lost it on the bend up there and had a head-on the bend down there. Right? Written off many cars down this road, still keeps doing it. So when I have my days off, and I'm on holiday at the moment, so it's every day, I plan to go out somewhere. Round about the same time, he comes flying around that top corner. I'm kind of halfway down. I pull out in the 4x4, 10 mile an hour, all the way to the end of the road. I know which way he turns on the main road, so I go out onto that one, 15 mile an hour, all the way up there. Pisses him right off. And I just keep doing it because it's fun. I'm sorry, I'm a dick, but he is just, every neighbour knows him. He's been reported repeatedly. He lost his driving licence after the head-on, from what I've been told. And he still flies down there. I mean, he's got his licence back now because it's been going on for years, but he still flies down there. And we all know which road he lives down, and sure enough, he turns down there. It's the same guy. But the problem is that there's loads of kids. And unfortunately, some of these children have about as much road sense as a cat. None. And not so long ago, a couple of months ago, I was outside helping one of the neighbours do something on his BMW, because, you know, BMW's forever breaking down. So I'm helping him fix that. Older BMWs are forever breaking down. Guy a few doors up, he's got 4 of them. Always broken. So I'm helping him. And all of a sudden there's this kind of weird kind of noise and screech and stop and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, one of the girls, a few houses up, has run out without paying any attention, bang, straight into a VW, oh god knows, it Polo I think it was, something like that. It was VW, whatever. And it wasn't his fault, he wasn't actually speeding, he lives just around the corner, he doesn't speed up and down here. It was just timing. Now if it had been the other guy or one of the other ones, it would have been a lot different. And she just ran out, got thumped. She didn't look, she just ran across. It's a genuine accident. Under new legislation, he'd probably get prosecuted. Or there is a higher risk. Because vulnerable, you know, pedestrian, he's a car, yada. And some people, what was he going to do? Last second, wallop. What are you going to do? And he doesn't speed down there. You know, he literally lives just on the corner. It's, you know, but legislation changes. And I've said it a lot on this channel. Things are changing, okay? It's a little change here, a little change there, a little change over here. Everybody agrees with them. Good change. But they add up to something. Now, for a lot of people, it's not going to be that surprising, but for some of you, I'm sure it will be. The way we use cars, the way we use vehicles today, is not normal. Okay? It really isn't. I mean, I was 1984, that's when I was born, right? And I used to walk to primary school with my mum. I used to walk to secondary school or catch the bus. And we're talking 4 or 5 miles to primary school, a couple of miles to secondary school. And that was normal. The household was a 1-car household. Normal. Right? My mum didn't have a driving licence till I was 6. Right? Normal. And she had a job. She wasn't a housewife, she had a job. Today, you know, like I said, girls who live a few doors down, they get in the car to be driven to the school, which is about less than a quarter of a mile if you walk down the cut through that was designed in this estate so that kids in the council houses could get to the school before cars. Right? It's like a quarter of a mile. If you go all the way round, it's half a mile, 3/4 of a mile. That's what they do. That's what virtually every single family, and the school is literally, I can throw a stone and hit the bloody thing, right? That's what everybody does. That's not normal, right? We have corner shops, hairdressers, vets, whatever. Using a car from this driveway to the corner shop and back again is not normal. Yeah? Woke. Not difficult. Right? the thing is, because we just get in the car, go down the road. You know, if you're on your housing estate, big housing estate, loads of different roads, you're one side, your mate's the other side. Yeah, as the crow flies in, you're walking through the cut-throughs and everything, it's a 10-minute walk, 5-10 minute walk, right? Car journey, it's 2 minutes. What do? Hop in the car or walk? Hop in the car. That's not normal human behaviour, right? Never was. So what you're seeing is a change in society. It happens every kind of 40 or so years. You know, I mean, if you think about the change between before World War II and after World War II in society as a general, that was a huge change between the Victorian era and the end of World War II. You know, that was a change from the Victorian era and so on. Every 40 or so years, we change. Using your car for every tiny little bloody thing is not normal. And so the government are trying to change little bits of legislation to make you think twice about using your vehicle. Yeah? Okay, we don't have the trains, we don't have the bus network we used to, we don't have that. That does need to be improved. But it's all about, for people of my age group, this is, you know, it's just bollocks, they're going to charge us per mile, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. It's bollocks. It is, for us, because of how normal we find cars, you know. But for the next generation, the generations after them, it's changing an attitude, it's changing how society operates. That's what all this is about. They can't ban you from driving. I mean, Jesus Christ, they'd lose 30 odd million votes like that, you know what I mean? So no one's going to do that, but they've got to rejig how you view day-to-day, normality. That's what they're doing. You know, it's like we charge towards automation. If you want to achieve 100%, you know, a fully automated road network, it's got to be 100% automation. There can be no human interaction because of variables. Yeah, computers know what other computers are doing. They don't know what you're doing. You're not hooked in. You're not linked. Yeah? But they can't ban you from driving, and to try and do that overnight would be, it wouldn't work. So it's going to be a long, drawn-out process. It's going to make things harder. You know, audible cameras to catch louder cars. It's like, you know, what is it? The decibel limit in this country is something around the 80. Okay, 85. There we go. The level at which. Oh no, hold on. That's not that. Oh, hold on. Legal limit. There we go. Right. 80 to 90. Yes, 80 to 90. Right. Right. Yes, about 80 to 90, according to this, and it's not being as direct as it usually is. Yeah, 80 to 90 decibels. The average high street is pretty much the same. Okay, the average high street in the middle of the day is pretty much the same level, right? When you're walking down the average high street and somebody takes off a normal car, average, every day, not modified, normal car, do you hear it accelerating? Yeah. So that is breaching, under normal acceleration, the limit, because you're hearing it over an average high street, which is about, you know, during the daytime, that limit. Yeah. So again, it's starting to make things harder. Yes, it's a good idea because you're going to catch all those people who have open exhaust. Yeah, but it's going to backfire. It's designed to. That's the point. You know. Improve road safety by allowing the most vulnerable people to pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. Cars have stopping distances. You know, you go out too late, you bounce down on your bike too late, they ain't going to stop even if they want to. Yeah, might is right, however. Oh, that might save lives, because if it's bigger than me, you know, A small change here, a small change there. A lot of you aren't going to believe it, but look around you. Look at the younger generation's attitude to cars compared to ours. Yeah, most of them aren't even bothering getting manual licences anymore because, well, EVs, you can't have a manual gearbox in an EV, whether it's hydrogen fuel cell, battery or otherwise. You know, so again, change in there. And most of the youngsters are getting used to a form of automation on it. And I'm sure as time goes on, lessons and stuff will start teaching you how to drive with automated capabilities. You know, what you got to do, what you got to look out for. And so you start conditioning generation after generation. Right, you don't need them so much, you don't need these, you don't need... It's a good thing. We shouldn't use cars the way we do. I'm guilty of it, everyone is. You know, pissing down with rain, I'm going to hop in the car and go down there. My mum, raincoat and off she went. You know, a lot of you watching me pissing down with rain when you were younger. Raincoat and off you buggered. Me, I had to top the car. You see what I mean? We've got to condition the older thinking back into society. You know, glass bottles, paper bags, not plastic. That kind of thing. And all these changes, if you look at them, that's what they're kind of getting at. And it's fun to see the arguments online, like the way we have developed our relationship with internal combustion engines is normal. It's not. You know, I mean, my dad, it was a one-car household. His parents never owned a bloody car. My mum's parents, he came out of the military, he invalided out in 42. He had a motorbike and sidecar until about the 70s when he got his first car. And he only ever had one. You know, he had a family, right? Him, his missus, his 3 sons, and his daughter, my mum, motorbike and sidecar. That was it. Now you go back to the generation before that, no one had a bloody car. You know? Before that, they were inventing the bloody car. So it's just not normal. You know, and to me, it's like, you all know my feelings on kind of lithium-ion battery cars, like that, whatever. To be fair, solid-state battery cars, I've been looking into it and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting. I like that idea. You know, the density, the power density, the weight kind of thing. It's a good idea. Now, the charging times are pretty good. I'm you know, okay, fair enough. Yeah, as I've said on this channel many times before, just because you believe something doesn't mean you're right. It does apply to me as well as everyone else. Yeah, okay, solid-state batteries, yeah, fine. I'm still a big believer in hydrogen, that's never going to change. Okay, just because of the potential it has decades down the line, you know. We need the investment in it. Yes, it's not that efficient at the moment. This is fun. This is something I was reading earlier. It's been a while since I've uploaded, so I'm going to keep this going, alright? In actual fact, because I can feel, because I've only really just woken up, I'm going to do myself another cuppa, and we'll carry on in a moment. So have a break, may even make this a 2-parter. You know. But yes, it's been a while. If it's a 2-parter, I'll upload the next part tomorrow. Okay, I won't wait, I'll just, you know, whatever, alright? So I shall see you either in a moment or tomorrow.